Alex episode 1. Welcome to Veteran State of Mind. I'm your host, Geraint Jones. I want to thank you guys for continuing to support the podcast with your ears and your fingers, as in typing reviews. As promised, I'm going to read the review, and if it's you said the words, get in touch and I'll send you some free shit. And if you try and scam me, I'll send you some actual shit in a jiffy bag. And it'll be a very, very warm jiffy bag. Well, depending on how close you live, but we'll figure that bit out. The reason reviews are important is that it helps us to talk people in coming on the podcast. If we haven't got anything to blackmail them with, then we can show them the amount of good reviews we've got and should convince them that this is a good use of their time. Anyway, today's review is from GazJP84. So thank you, GazJP84, for sending this in. All right. His words, not mine. Interesting, amusing, and honest. I don't come from a military background in any way, shape, or form, but I find the subjects covered in the VSOM podcast to be enlightening and entertaining. Geraint, the host, is very charismatic. Right, well, I've ruined that by talking about shitting in jiffy bags, haven't I? But on we go. He's also adept at keeping the conversation on track. Also just ruined that. What he is achieving through the podcast is quashing the stigma attached to mental health, and I should hope will encourage veterans and even normal civilians to realise that they can seek help and be helped. Yeah, thanks, Gaz. We can all seek help and we can all be helped. I genuinely believe that. Doesn't mean that it's not fucking hard. Can be fucking hard. But you know what? It's the hard things in life that are worth doing. So if you listen to this and you are struggling, just know that it's all right. But also, here's another thing. If you're listening to this and you're not struggling, then that's fine too. There's definitely this idea going around that all veterans have PTSD and problems transition and all that stuff. And it's just not the case. Some veterans come out and have no problems whatsoever. So if you're one of those people, don't start feeling like there's something wrong with you because you're not struggling. It's great. We're all fucking, we're all different. Just look at a fucking mortar platoon, for fuck's sake. We come in all shapes and sizes, physically and mentally we do too. So just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're going to think one way or another. And that's why we try and bring on variety of guests onto here. All right. You know who else understands that not all veterans are alike? The Royal British Legion. Good fucking segue. They're there for you if you're a veteran or you're a family of a veteran. They can help you out with anything from getting a business off the ground to supporting a podcast. Although if they do start supporting any other podcast, then they will be receiving some jiffy bags in the mail. You can check them out at rbl.org. or on Instagram at the Royal British Legion. They put out some good content. Fair play to them. They're getting better all the time. So definitely worth checking them out. And this episode is also made possible by the man like Geraint Jones. I got some books out. If you want people getting shot in the face, check out Sugar Man that I wrote with my US Special Operations mate Vincent Vargas. And if you want stabbing in the face, if people getting a blade in the face is more your thing, then check out Legion, which is the third book in my Roman Army series. You can find them both on Amazon. I've self-published them both, so if you can appreciate it, if you can support it, I'd appreciate it. I mean, if you can appreciate that I self-published, then I can appreciate that you appreciated, and then we'll all feel good about ourselves. So yeah, shooting in the face, Sugar Man. Stabbing in the face, Legion. Between the two of them, your bloodlust should be satisfied. Your bloodlust shall be satisfied. New word, stick it in your fucking dictionaries. Right. Finally, we have VSOM store up and running. Get your alley merch on there. T-shirts, mugs, used panties, all the usual kind of stuff that you sick perverts want. So yeah, thanks again, guys, for reviews. If you haven't left one on iTunes, they do really help us. And so does subscribing to the YouTube channel. There'll be a video. If you're listening to this on audio, there will be a video of this up on there with Alex's sexy face. Oh, for fuck's sake, I just gave away who was on. So yeah. So yeah, thanks again for your reviews. If you haven't left one on iTunes, they do really help us. Great for bringing in new guests. And so is subscribing to the YouTube channel. Even if you don't listen on the different platforms, guys, if you could go and subscribe to them, it would really, 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 really help. And I would really appreciate it and be satisfied. Oh yeah, and there's video of this. If you're listening on audio, there's video of this up on YouTube. You'll be able to see our guest's sexy face. And now, without further ado, my guest for today is one of the luckiest or unluckiest guys I know, depending on how you look at things, if you're glass half full or glass half empty kind of guy. He's one of my best mates, and he got shot in the neck when we were in Afghanistan. He was the first guest on the podcast, which was just about a year ago. So I think it's only fitting that we have him back in today. Here he is, my brother in arms, the legendary Pinkmist, a.k.a. Alex Jones.
Sold a dream to all of us, a dream that we'd all die for, a reason for us all to live and something we could fight for. I might just help a man up to his feet or hold a newborn, but no matter what I do, my hands remembering my rifle, yeah.
Life's hard, I know that, still wouldn't change shit. I wouldn't go back, yeah, I wouldn't go back. Feelings I hold back, memories fade, yeah, they go fast, yeah, they go fast. Good times to come and go, survive the highs and lows, just take it step by step, I guess, yeah, I suppose. Good times to come and go, survive the highs and lows, just take it step by step, I guess, yeah, I suppose.
Alex, welcome back to Veteran State of Mind, mate.
Gee, dude.
You're the first guest we had on. Obviously, I've run out of people I know, so we're going to start recycling.
Back to the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, back to the dregs, mate. Start recycling people through. It's always been my intention with this podcast that, you know, I think it's great on other podcasts that you have a guest on. I mean, I listen to a lot of other podcasts, military and not military, where you have somebody on, and you know some of these podcasts I listen to, you know, they've got 300 plus episodes, and they have someone on, you hear a story, but then that's it then. But I mean, life doesn't work like that, does it? Like, they got to that point, you know, by having an evolution in their life, and especially like in this kind of like the space, this veteran space, I think a lot can happen in a year. People can go forward, people can go backwards, people can stand still. Maybe you just fine tune things a little bit. So I've always wanted with this podcast to have people coming back on a recurring basis. So welcome, mate.
Thank you very much.
Right. Well, obviously, first thing I wanted to talk to you about was something that's near and dear to both of our hearts. And that is planning for the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
So planning for the zombie apocalypse, right? I know we both put a lot of thought into this, so I thought it's probably not a bad idea. At this point, I think the listeners have they've proven the loyalty by this point, been listening for a year if they've heard you on here before, and they deserve to know our planning strategy for the zombie apocalypse. So, you want to talk us through, like, let's go through, right? You get, first of all, how do you reckon that, like, it doesn't have to be a zombie apocalypse. It could be like a werewolf infestation or something like that. But like, how do you reckon, first of all, something like that would be handled by the government? Because we've all seen how the government handles. We've seen how they handled leaving the EU. They haven't exactly done a great job. So my confidence of them dealing with the zombie apocalypse is not exactly high. What do you reckon would be like the first kind of signs we'd have that something was going wrong? Probably when our intestines are hanging out and being eaten.
Yeah, you can guarantee with our government they'd be way too late before we find out. I don't know. I think like what you see in the films and stuff, like, you know, the 28 days later and those type of things. I think that's how it would go down. It would be sort of slow to start off with. The government wouldn't really want to cause too much panic by telling everybody what's sort of going on. And then it'll just get to the stage really where there's no hiding it, and, you know, they'll mobilize the army as they were, but by that stage it'll be too late.
Yeah, I definitely reckon it'd be one of those things where it'd probably be like one little thing that they could stamp out, but instead they'd be like, "No, you got to fill out Form 62 7B,"
yeah,
and then you got. And they'd have to go through all this red tape, and they'd be arguing, because there'd be one group of people who'd be like, "Oh, instead of just dealing with this, here's a great chance to undermine the opposition and stuff." And they'd be trying to undermine each other. Meanwhile, the peasants are being torn apart,
used as cannon fodder.
Yeah, because they're just like, "Oh, well, this will just burn itself out if we just leave it going for long enough." And anyone that thinks that they're like, "Oh no, people are band together and like we'd all work with each other." You've never seen a Black Friday those Black Friday deals. You seen them?
Yeah, I think like when shit hits,
talk towards the mic a bit.
When shit hits the fan, all civilization and all that, you know, stuff goes out the window, and the same like with a Black Friday event. As soon as there's a £300 TV on sale, then that's it. There's no mates, there's no civilization. It's one for all and all for one.
I mean, people are willing to trample each other to get a TV. But then the crazy thing is, on the other hand, then, if you look at like the Blitz, on like, you know, the Blitz on London, then that's probably the tightest the community in London's ever been. So it's a weird one because it's like people will try and pull each other for a TV, but then they'll go into burning buildings to pull each other out. People are fucking weird. We are weird.
Yeah. But that, I think at the beginning it'll be that sort of close knit, everyone trying to work together. But then, as soon as it all starts to break down, like you see in what's that program, Walking Dead. Shout out to that.
No, don't shout them out.
Why? That's a good program.
No, first couple of series were good, and then all right. Let me talk you through what happened with Walking Dead. You don't make much money on like advertising for a new first series, obviously, because it's a new thing, it's unproven. You don't make that much money off it, and then the more popular a series gets, the more they can charge for advertising in the middle, and that's why Walking Dead, that first season might be one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen. Loved it, couldn't get enough. But then by the third season, what should be taking 2 episodes is taking an entire season because they're dragging it out because that's where you're getting the money. And like it got to the point where I was because I know what's happening there as well. I'm like, I feel like I'm like, all right, I take a little bit of this because I know you got to make money at the end of the day. It's a business, but I feel like I'm getting shafted a bit too much here because you only got so much time in your life, mate. And it got to the point where I was just like, I can't invest this time in it anymore. But the first 2 seasons, especially the first one, were brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stick with you on that. But yeah. Anyway, like what I was saying about. At the start, yeah, that everyone's sort of banding together, they all helping each other. But then as soon as it starts to break down more, food becomes a little bit more scarce. Then it's sort of survival kicks in, and it's all for yourself. Then.
Well, let's go over the food then, right? What is on or off the menu for you during the zombie apocalypse?
Oh, in terms of what I would eat.
All right, would you eat your pets?
If I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't like to, but
I wouldn't like to. It'd be hard to look them in the eye, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But I mean.
All right, okay. All right, so you've got a bit of food. Is that food going to your pet or to a family in the town that you've never met before?
Just going to my pet, I think. I don't know.
Same, mate. Fuck the family. What they ever done for me? Pets can be fucking snuggles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and that's what I mean. I think when it gets to that stage where food is that sparse, then. There's no mates then, is it? There's no, civilized community. This is survival, isn't it? So,
is there any kind of animal that you wouldn't eat in the zombie apocalypse situation?
I don't know. No, I don't think. I think it's all on the table, isn't it?
What about people? Are you going to be in one of these gangs where you like fucking herd people up and chop them up and eat them?
I don't know. I don't think I could go as far as eat people. I don't know why, but I don't. Is it good for you? I mean,
I'm sure fucking I would be. I'm delicious. I'm fucking and probably an intoxicant as well. But I reckon if you had, I wouldn't want to be in one of those gangs that herds up people and eats them. Yeah. But if one of me muckers, like you got a nice bit of beef on you, if you just happen to pass away. Then it's just a waste, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, I'm sure he won't. And I would treat you it wouldn't be like, I wouldn't throw you, just chuck you down. I'd properly, make a nice dressing for you and everything like that. Show you the respect that you deserve.
To carry on living on inside of me.
Well, yeah, because you would become a literal part of me. Because then, I tell you what I'd do as well. I'd go to the gym, fucking hit heavy fucking shoulder session, so that you were, because I know that's your favourite body part to train. And I know then that your like meats and proteins
becoming part of me.
Exactly, you'd literally be a part of my shoulders. So I think, to be honest, why aren't we eating more of our meats?
Yeah, that's the true question. You never mind.
Why okay, I heard Sam Harris. I don't know if anyone. I like his podcast, right? He's like a neurologist and a kind of like, I suppose he's a philosopher and stuff. And he asked the question, why don't we eat babies? Right? Because when you think about it, if you take all emotion out of everything, and this is why the reason he asked this question is because it's a good starting point for looking at like how we make decisions as human beings. Because if we were like robots and we made purely rational decisions, logical decisions with no emotion, why wouldn't you eat babies? Do you know what I mean? There's no logical reason to not eat babies.
I don't even know where to start with that question.
Well, you can start by putting your erection away.
Are you asking me why we don't eat babies?
Yes.
I I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that.
It's just because it feels wrong, doesn't it?
Well,
it feels
yeah,
wrong to eat a baby. But what I mean, like, the fact is that during crisis, like, if you look at, and like, let's expand it past delicious succulent babies. There's been a lot of times, and there's times right now where there's famine going on in the world, but people don't generally turn around and start eating each other. It has happened, but generally it doesn't happen. I think that's really interesting, isn't it?
I think, like, don't you get some sort of disease if you eat people? Like,
that's just fucking, that's the fucking food corporations putting out fake
Yeah.
news to try and stop just so you have to go and buy their overpriced beef.
they don't want a competition.
They don't want to know the fucking delicious babies that are free are fucking good for you.
Think of all them morgues
You
up
ever
there.
seen that
though.
movie, The Game Changers? That's all about babies, isn't it?
Yeah. Think of all them morgues up there that they could just transfer into, like, restaurants and stuff.
Seriously though, right? I wouldn't have a drama. If I was dead, I would not have a drama with someone eating me. Now, I don't want to be killed to be eaten, because I don't want to be killed. I'd like to live forever, thanks very much. But, like, the idea, like, but you're fucking going to, the fact is, you are going to be eaten. It's just you're getting eaten by, like, little fucking bacteria-sized things that you can't see. You're still getting eaten.
Yeah.
You're still getting broken down. So what's the difference in having some, like, fat fucker chow down on a nice burger?
The thought then of, like, going through that digestion process, and you know where you're coming out.
Right. Do you want to know, mate? Do you want to know this is my writer brain on this, and if anyone steals this idea for a book or whatever, I'll fucking track you down. I reckon in the future, there's going to be two different types of people.
Right.
There's going to be, the same way now there's different kind of apes, right? So, like, you've got your chimpanzees and stuff. They're only a couple of percentage, 2% removed from us in DNA? But obviously that 2% accounts for a lot in most people. But that's a very important 2%, isn't it? So basically, you and me right now, if we owned a zoo, we can mind you, people get locked up too, but that's another fucking subject. We could, you could pretty much, you just fucking treat apes like shit, really, can't you? But humans, you've got rights and stuff. Animals don't really have that many rights, depending on what country you're in. You try telling somebody who lives in the Congo that a fucking chimpanzee has a right, he'll laugh in your face and then machete you and then eat you. I reckon, mate, this gap right now, massive wealth gap, isn't there? You got a lot of rich people. You got a lot of a lot of rich people, but then even more poor people. As these new technologies are coming in to prolong life, so, like, basically, if you've got the money, you'll be able to live longer and you'll be able to live better, while the people at the bottom are going to be living in more and more toxic and shitty environments, not have jobs, all that kind of stuff. So let's say right now, let's say you're a billionaire, right? You're going to be able to prolong your life, and then the longer you're alive, the more money you make as well, right? So that accumulation of wealth is going to get even bigger. So the wealth gap will get even further apart, right? And I reckon that you're literally going to end up with two types of humans. You're going to have people who are, like, genetically... Because right now, like, say you lose a leg in Afghan or whatever, the legs that you can get replaced with are pretty good, right? There's going to be a point where people are deliberately having their arms and legs and stuff replaced with prosthetic ones, because they're going to be far superior.
Yeah.
So you imagine, mate, if you could have an arm where you had the grip strength of a gorilla, you're going to get that fucking transplant done, aren't you? No one's fucking around with you then. Imagine the choking you could give your missus if you fucking had an arm like that, right? So that's going to start happening, mate. So you're going to have these two different kind of people, right? You're going to have your superhumans, basically, who are going to be the wealthy, and then you're going to have the poor ones. And there's not going to be any jobs, because the jobs are all going to be done by automation and stuff. So guess where the food source is coming from, mate? Humans. Humans are going to get farmed, and they're going to get eaten by the superhumans. You heard it here first. That's fucking dystopian future. Hopefully, it's not going to happen in our lifetimes. It's going to happen in mine, because I'm one of the billionaires who's going to fucking come out eating you. But I reckon that's a possible future. That could happen.
I mean, it's on the cards, definitely. I agree with the technology bit. People add in technology because I think that
you don't think they want a nice, tasty human burger.
no, not yet. But I mean, that's what Like I said, who wouldn't want to walk into a morgue and it'd be like one of them restaurants you go into where they've got the lobsters in the thing, innit? And you can be like, I fancy that one.
Oh no! This is different though. In the future, mate, it's going to be live. The lobsters are going to be live.
Yeah.
You're going to walk in there and you're going to see like there'll be some athletic 21-year-old bloke, or you might like a nice bit of like your thing might be, you like you like the kind of like ribs. There might be a skinny girl in there that you might want to eat, but you go and pick them out. But think about it. If the world keeps getting overpopulated, there's already a shortage of food. The population just is growing exponentially. Where is the food going to come from? But there will be, and this is because people are like, there's going to be too many people, won't be enough food. Well, look, as long as there's people, there is a food source, and it's called people. And just because that hasn't been as far as we know, like there has been there's well documented tribes where they've been living on these islands, like these tropical islands, which doesn't have a lot of food stuff. So what were the tribes doing? Eat each other. It's not outside. I've never even thought about this now. I'm actually terrified that I've never even thought about this far through. Think about it. Let's say there's 20 billion people on the planet. There's no food. Well, there is food, and it's called each other. And if it ends, and like, mate, people have been to war over people insulting flags and people saying a mean thing about a king, and people will go to war over it. You think they're not going to start eating each other?
Let's go and invade a small country so we can farm the population.
Farm the population, mate. But we've seen this in movies, right? When people watch their movies like about War of the Worlds and they're like harvesting people haven't got an issue with that. They're like, oh yeah, aliens, of course they do it, of course they eat people. But then they don't seem to be able to make the gap or bridge the gap of going that could just be the same for us.
Yeah.
I hope I've scared you all today with this, because I'm literally shaking in nerves.
I don't even know how we've got to this.
I don't know how we've got to this, mate. I am hard as fuck, wrecked, and terrified.
But it's going to happen.
Fear boner.
Especially when the zombie apocalypse comes in.
Well, we don't even need a zombie apocalypse, mate. We just need a bunch of hungry people. Mate, that's what the zombie apocalypse will be. The zombie. Oh, my God. We will be the zombies. We have become what we feared the most. All right, so how do we prepare against that? Better start culling the population now. Jesus Christ, this sounds like a fucking cause of genocide now. No, what I mean is put some condoms on. Put condoms on. Put condoms on. Do not eat your babies. Put condom on.
Thanos, he had a good idea. I agree with that.
All right, All right, mate, Thanos. Yeah, go and explain to people. Thanos.
So what is it, like wiping half the population?
Well, he's the Avengers guy, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Talking about the population it's just going slightly off topic, but talking about, but not that I even think it was a topic. But
I think the fact that we're wearing matching black shirts and talking about thinning populations means we need to be very careful here.
Yeah.
And by careful, I mean continue saying whatever you were saying.
Yeah. So the population issue, obviously, it is just getting massive, isn't it? So.
But what? Sorry, go.
Let's I don't know. Let's do a Thanos. Cull half the world.
But what I liked about Thanos, mate, was that he was like, look, there's no pain for anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just going to click. Sorry, I'm going to click. I'm going to click my fingers. No one's going to feel any pain.
No selection process.
There's no selection, so you could be the richest person. Or I don't know how anyone has a drama with it. Or they're like, oh, this is terrible. Because I'm thinking like, well, what's the alternative? Like starving, war. Just like, yeah, and like, just because I think, you and I, mate, we've been to some fucking shitty parts of the world and we've seen the reality for most people. Most people's Saturday morning isn't coming into a podcasting studio, having a brew and talking about zombie apocalypse. Most people's Saturday morning is, oh, I hope today that I don't get raped, murdered, thrown into prison by the police who will then like torture me until my family pay for me to be released.
Fucking blown up.
Like, the majority for, like, 75% probably of the world's population is a fucking pretty shitty day-to-day. And, like, yeah, that Thanos thing made a lot of sense to me because I think, like, oh, well, you know what? If I'm in that half, it disappears, so be it. Not going to know about it. And at least, wouldn't you be glad to know that everybody else is getting on and then surviving and not having wars and stuff. I don't know how he ever became a bad guy, mate. He must have had a shit PR agent, to tell you that. Like, to have been fucking painted in that way. Because that was a thing about that movie. I couldn't get behind the Avengers because I'm like, well, I kind of want him to succeed.
Yeah, I want him to do it. Like,
what's your end? Like, what's their end state? What was their end state like? What was their fucking plan? That's why I didn't watch the second one, because I was pissed off they were trying to stop him.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, for the sake of wiping out half the population, everybody will die instead. So, I mean, that's the alternative, isn't it?
I think people, though, mate, they find in general now, people are very divorced from the idea of reality versus, like, ideals.
Yeah.
So by the time this comes out, the election will be behind us by a good few weeks. But, like, with the election, what I found interesting about that was that a lot of people would think that if you voted differently to them, you had a different set of ideals, which isn't the case whatsoever. Like, me and all my kind of like group of schoolmates, we all have the same ideals. We want people to be looked after. We want the place to be secure. We want the world to be a nice place to live in for everyone. We all think that, but we have a different opinion about how you get to that point. And what I found very kind of sad in a way about the election was there was a lot of people who, if you didn't believe the same way as them, that they kind of felt that you didn't want to get to the same end state as them.
Yeah.
Which isn't the case, whatsoever, is it? Like, and why do you think that? Why do you think that is? Why do you think people are like, why do you think people find it so hard to believe that you can be a good person if you think differently to them?
No, people are very, I don't know, set in their ways though, and they think that this is how we've got to do it. This is the only way we can do it. If you think any different to that, then you're against me, sort of thing, innit? So,
but I can understand that. But what I can understand, like, let's say you and me, you know what it's like, right? You've got a missus. When you're putting a piece of when you're putting a piece of furniture together, right? You're putting a piece of furniture together, and you're going, right, we're gonna put this together, and she wants to look at the fucking instructions, right? And you just want to fucking go for it and make it, right? You're both trying to make the same thing. You're just going about it in a different way, right? But you both want the same thing. With politics, that's like with politics, people all of a sudden don't really, like, they can't seem to grab. They're like, oh, if you want, like, so for instance, if someone supports Labour and someone supports Conservative, the Conservative, like, supporters like, oh, you want everybody in this country to just not work. And then the Labour person's like, oh, you want all the babies to die in the hospital and then be eaten.
yeah.
Like, I don't know why people can't just be like, look, we all want the same thing. How about just putting it together on it?
I don't know, because I don't know. It's like people love the drama, don't they? They love that conflict. They love, I don't know. They love to have that debate about it, and they love nothing more than being. There's no better feeling than being right about something, is it? So when somebody, I don't know, sort of offers an alternative that would suggest that you're maybe not right, then that's where people just go, what, and lose their shit and try and...
But that's the thing, mate. You use the word debate, but it's not a debate most of the time, is it? It's like trying to point score over each other rather than trying to go... Because like a debate would be like, oh, you know what? I never thought about it that way. What if blah, blah, blah? Because that's how it fucking should be. That, like, there's one set with a group of points and another set with a group of points, and you come together and go like, oh, I never saw it from that point of view. You know what? That is pretty good. So, for instance, let's say the nuclear deterrent, the Trident one. Like, for me, getting rid of that is an absolute no-no.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the reasons that we've been able to avoid another fucking world war in Europe is because of nuclear deterrence. So I just think long-term you save more lives by investing in nuclear, like a nuclear deterrent. So that's a no-no for me. I should be able to explain that point to somebody and say, like, look, because they'll be like, oh, you want nuclear war and stuff. It's like, no, actually, if you look at, here's the history. We had the First World War, we had the Second World War. In the 100 years running up to that, we had a bunch of major European wars. There's always been major European wars, and except since we got nuclear weapons, and here's the reasons why that hasn't happened. And you explain that to someone, and then they might go, oh, right, I see now why it makes sense. Instead, people are just like, you're a fucking hippie. You want to get rid of the fucking things. And like that. And then they just go, don't call me a fucking hippie, you fucking warmonger.
Yeah.
And people just like dig in on their positions then. And it's the same with like the NHS. Like one of my mates who works in the NHS, she's been explaining to me like how things are changed in the NHS and stuff. And like I don't work in the NHS, and thankfully I don't have to visit the NHS much. So hearing it from her position, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Never saw it from like that. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But instead, for some reason, and like when you've got these fucking cunts, mate, they're like, when they do that noise and they go, rah, 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 you just want to go in there and smash them.
It is. I hate all this, like, oh, you voted Conservative then. You're obviously racist.
Oh, you obviously hate people.
You obviously hate people.
You obviously want babies to die in hospitals.
Yeah, it's like, come on, be realistic. Like, and that's the problem. People go into, when they have those arguments and they dig their heels in it, like you said, they come up with the most stupid shit that doesn't even make sense. It's like they lose all grasp of reality.
Yeah. Well, I think this goes for like anything, not even politics, just in general. That there is so much for us to understand out there. There is an enormous task and very daunting. That rather than try and explain, like rather than try and really think through a situation, it's easier to have 3 key points that you hold on to. And like people like, you know, so like the whole Corbyn's a terrorist. Like if that's all you've got to say,
Yeah.
then you need to fucking evaluate your position as well. Like it's, you've got to have people, but it's easier to just have a few sound bites. Because look, mate, it's fucking impossible to know. Unless it was, even if it's your full-time job, to know all these issues inside out is impossible. But people like to pretend that they do, so they have a few sound bites that they like to fucking say, and then they throw them back and forth for each other. I'm massively in favour of getting rid of voting and just having robots doing it.
Robots,
but having artificial intelligence and algorithms make the decisions. Like, and people are like, oh well, you know, like, because look, at the end of the day, most people don't turn out to vote anyway. Most people that do vote just vote for whoever their parents vote for, or whoever their girlfriend tells them to, or boyfriend.
Whoever the media tells them
yeah,
to.
so most people are not voting in like, you know, I have a rough idea of who's in a rough idea of who I think is in my best interests, and by extension, I think right, what is going to allow me to do the best that I can, which can then help me, like. Because I think if you can, it's like putting your oxygen mask on first. If I can sort myself out, then I can help other people out, and that's how I kind of see things. That's like my opinion on life in general. It's like, so like to take the whole PTSD thing, unless you've got your own PTSD sorted, you can't help anyone else that's got it, right? So I see it the same way as like financially and stuff like that. Unless you got yourself sorted, you can't help other people. And I want to help other people, and I think 99.9% of people do want to help other people.
Yeah.
But it just becomes this opposite mudslinging thing, and it'd just be great if we could just take that out of the fucking equation. And all these cunts, mate, they're all, you're looking at ways to save money. Well, fucking hell, how much money goes on Parliament and everything every year and all that lot? Fucking slash it, get a computer in there, and just have a fucking computer do everything.
They're all on like what, 70, 100k jobs. It's insane. On the note of the zombie apocalypse again, let's get back to that. And
give the people what they need to hear.
And looking at how people would react to that, say slaying hordes of zombies. Would you have these people who are like, oh no, zombies got feelings, we can't?
Oh, you would do, definitely.
Yeah, and then...
Definitely, the zombie apologists. Here's one. I got to stick up for Corbyn on one, actually, though. So recently, he was, you know, when they killed al-Baghdadi, Corbyn had said something like that he wanted, he was like, these people, if we can, they need to be apprehended rather than killed. That's what he said, right? And then everyone's coming out going like...
He's a sympathiser.
Yeah, he's a sympathiser. It's like, hang on. Because he's like, oh yeah, good job. Like, nice try trying to fucking arrest someone when they've got a suicide vest on. But that's not what he's saying. He's saying if it's possible.
Yeah.
Now, if they're wearing a suicide vest, then it's not possible.
No.
He never said we should attempt all the time to do it. And like I said, I'm not a fan of the guy whatsoever. But like, there's this like squad. There's a lot of squaddies on Twitter, especially, who are so fucking anti everything that they're just like they're just as bad as the other fucking side. You know, it's like look at what he said. He didn't say that. But it's funny, mate, because you get a lot of old squaddies on Twitter and stuff who call in everyone like, oh, you fucking snowflakes and stuff. And you say anything that's anti-squaddy or whatever, and then they're the first ones to be snowflakes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anything anti, I don't know, PTSD or something like that, then that's it. You weren't there, man. You don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, it's all right to take the piss out of everyone else, but as soon as their group's taking the piss out of, it's like, how dare you make a joke about squaddies? It's like, you're fucking being a little bitch.
Yeah.
And like, I deleted the Twitter app. I go back on, I log onto it through the desktop now and again because there's some people that are on there that aren't on Instagram or anything like that. And but generally, mate, like, I just look at it and I'm just thinking, I know exactly who those people were. Those people who were on that Twitter and stuff. There's always in your battalion or whatever a certain number of people who just hang on to the identity of squaddy because they think it makes them better than other people, which is not the case whatsoever. You know, if you've been a squaddy, then that's good for you. It's like you've done something different. You've done something that you can be proud of, but it doesn't make you better than anyone else. But you can see that group on there. And it's funny, mate, because it's like you say one thing that they can think is critical of a squad and they will just descend on it. Yeah. But the problem is with the mob mentality on there is it makes it impossible to have a discussion about it. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is like, I definitely think I'm seeing people on there now who are using the PTSD card for sympathy. Doesn't mean they don't have PTSD. But when you look at it and you look at what they're doing and you looked at the body of evidence over a couple of years, doesn't seem that they're making any attempt to actually try and overcome it. But every tweet, everything that is all about the woe is me. And I'll tell you this right now, if your attitude is woe is me, you're never getting over PTSD. No. Like, that's one of the first things you got to do is to just accept that it's a shit thing, but it's a challenge that you're going to overcome. But like it just, because the thing is, mate, most people then, there's a lot of people who will give them sympathy, and I think they become addicted the same way as some girls and some guys are addicted to getting attention for, say, topless pictures or booty pictures or whatever. That becomes addictive. That becomes addictive to them like that. I think that there's some veterans out there who are addicted to PTSD sympathy.
Yeah, they love the sympathy and they use it. They use it to get like I don't know, to try and get free stuff or whatever it is, and then as soon as that doesn't work out for them, then that's it. Then the whole fucking world is turned against them. No one gives a shit about them. No one like, you got to want to fucking help yourself. Like you said, otherwise you're never going to get out of the slump of PTSD. You know, you can't just sit back and expect the world to bend over, and while you're being a fucking dick about everything as well, because you think that's your God-given right because you've served in, you know, Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever. You think the world owes you a fucking favour. No. You've done the same job that fucking hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people have done before you. Fucking sort yourself out.
Yeah. And you got to make things happen for yourself. Mate, like, I'm all for these like holidays for veterans and stuff. But the idea that you just sit on your ass and wait for someone... Because the thing is, mate, every one of those every one of those veteran holidays, someone has had to raise the money for that. So someone who was probably quite often a civvy, who they then think they're better than, that person has had to miss time with their family, go out on their own time to raise that money, and they can't be asked doing anything towards it themselves. Do you know what I mean? It fucking pisses me off, mate. You know, like, and I called someone out about it online recently, and they didn't even reply to me about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I would have had the conversation with them, and because, you know, like, at the end of the day, I want everyone that's got PTSD to get over PTSD. And I'm just know for a fact that the way you don't get over it by wallowing in fucking self-pity and expecting everyone to do everything for you. And I think, to be honest, I'm not questioning anybody here, but this is what I will say. Everyone I know that suffered with PTSD has felt like a burden, has felt like a waste of space, and the reason they thought about killing themselves was because they wanted to take themselves out of the picture, because they felt like they were a waste of space and they were not contributing, and that the world would be better off without them. So when I see somebody who says that they have PTSD, but they obviously don't feel like they're a waste of space and they want everyone to do stuff for them and they're quite happy with that, I question whether that person has PTSD.
No,
I really do. And like, maybe I'm wrong on this one, but I'm fucking being honest. I always say to you guys, the listeners, I will always be honest with you as what's on my mind. And I really do believe that some of these people are full of fucking shit.
Yeah, same as. And I see, like, the PTSD, I'm not saying that people use it to their advantage, but no, in fact, fuck it. I am saying that because they do.
They do, mate. Let's be real about it. They fucking do.
I think people come out to the army, and as soon as they come out to the army and realise that actually having been a veteran really doesn't get you any fucking brownie points or any other sort of benefits when you come out of the army, I think that's a shock to people, and then it's easy then to fucking go, right, well, I'm struggling now, I must have fucking PTSD, and then to go to, a fucking shrink or whatever, it's an easy win for them as well, an easy diagnosis to make. Oh, you were a veteran, you were in Afghanistan, you were in Iraq, there we are, you got PTSD. That's all your problems are down to PTSD. Nothing to do with the fact that you don't want to fucking help yourself, you don't want to get off your ass, and fucking try and do something yourself. It's I'm the reason I'm a fucking arsehole is because I got PTSD. No, you're just a fucking arsehole.
Exactly, mate. I just don't buy it, mate. If I see anybody who's begging for, no, not begging, that's the wrong word, demanding free stuff, demanding people do this for them, I just think that isn't PTSD at that point. That's just an arsehole being entitled. Because like I said, mate, everyone I've come across with Gen PTSD, I've seen two things. One is that they want to try and help themselves, and two is that the reason they suffer so much is because they feel like they are unworthy of anything. And it's one of the reasons quite often guys don't want to come forward for help, because they feel like, I'm such a loser, why should people give me help?
Yeah. And three is they'll never fucking ask for anything. The people I've known with PTSD, I have never known any of them who genuinely have PTSD to turn around and say, firstly, fucking say, shout, scream about having PTSD, and then go out of their way fucking asking for stuff because they've got PTSD.
But one of the whole problems about getting veterans into treatment is that no one wants to ask for help.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things. Is like, no one wants to ask for help, but you had to fucking force me to fucking go. You had to get forced to fucking go. Like the other guests that we've all had on, everyone at some point has had to have a kick in the arse to make them go, because none of us want to go, because we don't want to feel like we don't feel worthy of the help.
And you don't want to admit to it as well. I didn't want to admit to anything. I was like, I'm fine. I'm just fucking, I've just come out the army, struggling to sort of fit in to civvy life, a little bit institutionalized from the army maybe. I was like, even now, I'm like, nah. Didn't ever had PTSD. Fine,
yeah.
I'm fine.
I do think it's becoming more normalised to talk about it. So I definitely think for like younger blokes, I mean, I bet there's still loads of Falklands vets out there who will not admit to themselves. Talking to a lad the other day, talking to a lad, and he says his dad's got it. His dad was involved in some of like the wars in like the 70s and stuff, and he says his dad's clearly got it, but won't admit it.
Yeah.
But his dad drinks himself he was a violent dad, drinks himself into a stupor every night, has all the signs of PTSD, doesn't believe in it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it says it's really hard for his son's an Afghan vet. His son has it, but his son's overcome it. He had it, he dealt with it. And the reason he dealt with it was because he'd suffered at the end of his dad's fists. And he was like, I'm not going to do that to my kids. Yeah. So he'd quite quickly got himself squared away. But he says it's mad, like looking at his dad and seeing 100% his dad has PTSD, but he just won't admit to it. And it's in a lot of ways ruined his life, because he doesn't have a great relationship with his kids now because he used to beat them. He obviously doesn't have a good relationship with yourself. Like, I've been there, mate. Like, I'm looking forward to getting smashed this evening. Good old fucking Christmas fucking party, all that stuff. I'm looking forward to that. But there's a lot of people out there who drink every day because they hate who they are and they don't want to have to fucking sit sober with that person. Yeah. And yeah, that like you said, mate, that admitting it is a massive thing.
Fucking hard. Like nobody wants to admit that they're. I don't know. I think a lot of the time, like you said, these days is a lot more. It's more accepted. I think because people do talk about it a lot more. But I think there's still a stigma to it. There is. There always will be.
And the other thing as well, though, is I'm very much I want us to get to a place with PTSD where we look at it like having a bad leg.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, right? So if we are looking at it as being a bad leg, then it should no one's I've got the other day I went for a walk, I slipped on the ice, I hurt my knee. No one's giving me a free skiing trip because I hurt my knee. No fucking should they. So if we're trying to normalise PTSD to the point of just being like any other physical injury, then surely this entitlement thing has to go away as well. Yeah. Because you can't say that it's the same, but then treat it different, but then give special treatment for it. It's either the same or it's not the same. So which one is it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I chose to go away. I knew what the fucking outcomes were going to be, and I come away with how I was from it. I don't expect people to hand stuff to me on a plate with it. With what I've got. I think all people seem to want to do, though, is, like you said, they just go around, yeah, we've got PTSD, well, we'll look at sending you to fucking France for a week, skiing. What the fuck is that going to do? Yeah, you'll probably have a brilliant week, but you come back and you've still got PTSD and very little understanding of...
it's just distraction, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've been distracted for a week.
And teach people, like, for me, the best way I come to terms with PTSD, what it was, is by understanding how it worked. Mm-hmm. I've done loads of research on why sort of these things were happening, why I felt like this, and looking at the brain, how the brain works, how that, I don't know, memory process and stuff like that, how that sort of works. And once I understood, like, about the amygdala, the fucking, prefrontal cortex, how it all ties together, I was like, boom, I know now. I know why this is happening. I know why why I'm sort of feeling a little bit shitty. I know why I'm getting a little bit edgy when I'm walking through a wood or walking down a fucking alleyway, or when I drive past a fucking a bin bag on the road. I understand.
Well, it's because you want to get in that bin bag, you little fucking scrounge.
See if there's any fucking there's any dinner in there. Fries left in it. Or babies.
Yeah. You're sick, pal. But maybe like I said, it's understanding it. So like today when we go out, we know today it's we're recording this on the Saturday before Christmas. We know town's going to be busy as fuck. We know there's going to be a lot of dickheads out. It's Wrexham. Same as any small town in the country. There's going to be a lot of dickheads out. We're going to have spent the morning talking about this kind of stuff. So we know that it's not a great idea for us to go to certain bars where there's going to be high probabilities of dickheads doing stuff. And it's about understanding that and avoiding situations, but also then, so this afternoon, we got on the cards for this afternoon, we're going for a walk in the countryside, and we're going to go to the gym. So it's like you said, it's understanding what your condition is. Like, I guarantee a lot of these people who are the bemoaning it online and stuff, I guarantee you, they are not, I guarantee you they're not doing these things on a daily basis. Journaling, meditating, getting outside for exercise, going to the gym. A lot of them are unemployed and they're not doing fizz. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy for somebody to just, if they have got it, but it's also possible. As we always say on this podcast, it's not black and white. So it is possible that someone may have a degree of PTSD, but they also just might be a fucking shitbag, and they also just might be fucking lazy. Because it is the fucking truth, people. You all know, any of you that served know that in your battalion or your fucking regiment or whatever, there was a lot of guys who used to, like, if you went on a tab, so a tab for any civilians listening is when you put you put your house on your back and you go walking at a fast pace. They used to have a safety vehicle follow on behind for people to get on if they dropped out, aka the cunt truck. The jack wagon or the cunt truck, right? You used to get a lot of people on those fucking trucks. So the fact that they jacked it in on a tab, which, I'm not being funny, if you're in the infantry, you got one fucking job. Tab, and then fucking kill people when you get to the end of it. That's literally all you're there to do. So if you can't tab, and let's be honest, most of them weren't genuine injuries. It was just people without any kind of any fucking, in my opinion, pride. To me, mate, the idea of dropping out in front of people, I would rather have just been shot on the side of the road and got on that fucking truck. Yeah. Like, that is just the idea of it, mate. Just makes me want to be sick now. It makes me want to punch you in the fucking face. But it's disgusting, isn't it? The idea of just going, oh, fuck, this is hard, I'm dropping out. That is disgusting.
It's just too hard for me. Fuck it, I can't be asked.
But wait, that's fine. So you know what? Go be a baker. Go and work in Spa. Just don't be in the infantry. What are you doing in the infantry? I'm fucking wound up right now, mate. I'm literally back there. I'm back there in my pest vest.
Do you know what? You would have had a fucking stroke then if he was in the Falklands with us. Did you go to the Falklands? You didn't,
no, I got out there.
Fuck me, mate. We tabbed from Onion Range down to, I don't know, Port Stanley or whatever it was. It was a monster. And we had 2 jack wagons.
No, mate.
It got to the point where even if you were genuinely going down, you were fucked because both jack wagons were full. That's how bad it was. Like, it was like you couldn't even get. So many people were just dropping out and going, fuck it.
But you know what, mate? Like, there's a few things about this. Like, let's be honest. The reason now I wish I joined the Paras was because, like, we had Dave Radbad on recently, and he was saying that Dave Radbad is who was it? It was Mike Chadwick who was saying it. He was saying that every Friday you do the 10 miler. And he said it would be a chat. You'd have a chat. You're doing the 10 miler. You're having a chat. And he said, but if anyone failed it, they had to go back and do it that afternoon.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Fucking love that. And, like, to be fair, that attitude of, like, and I thought, I always used to think, why they got sense of superiority over anyone else. They do the same fighting and stuff. And that part is true. But I do think they deserve, in a sense, to have that. And the same with the bootnecks. Because at the end of the day, they have done a harder training to get there. But it's not just what you've done to get there. It's what you keep up while you're there.
Yeah.
And that attitude of, like, to me, I think all the infantry should be like the Paras. I think their standards, I think, should be, I reckon, even if it means the infantry is fucking a lot smaller, like, I'm very much I reckon we should be having a small infantry, but everyone is of the standards of the people you get into the Paras. And, like, because the days of needing just a fucking idiot to stand in ranks and get cannonball shot at him, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Why have we got shitbags? We don't need them. We're better off without. Those people are a liability. You go on tour, they make fucking 3 times as much work. You're better off being in a platoon of 20 people who all know what they're doing. They're all switched on, capable blokes.
It's not even like you said with the Paras, the training's any different. It's not any harder. It's no different. It's no harder. But it's that pride that's fucking drilled into them that you don't get in. It's lost. Like, look at our battalion, for example. You won't go to like, I know so many para boys, and you would never hear a para boy going, do you know what, fucking the battalion's shit, the fucking para.
Yeah.
You speak to our boys, oh, fucking battalion shit, this wank, this, that, and the other.
It's a job, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's not drilled into them. You need that fucking pride, that regimental pride. You wouldn't find any regiment out there who's got more pride than the Paras, and that's what it is. Because once they get that pride instilled to them about their regiment, their fucking regiment becomes part of them, and they do anything they can not to bring their regiment into yeah.
But that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth, mate. Because it's not just saying it. Because it's like, with us, we're all Welsh. Yeah, fucking hell, am I proud of what our regiment has done? Absolutely. But then you look at the current situation, and then you see a bunch of guys dropping out of a fucking tab or whatever, and then they're just allowed to carry on with their job. You can't have both. You can't say to someone, yeah, we're fucking great, but at the same time, you see 30 people drop out of a tab. You can't kid yourself. You know, it doesn't matter how many times you go, oh yeah, Rorke's Drift, innit? Well, that's great, but that was over 150 years ago.
And you're celebrating one of the fucking biggest losses in British fucking war history.
Well, like. Sanderwan a couple of days before. But it's like, you know, it's great. Like, you can be proud of our regiment being in the trenches and stuff. But that wasn't us. We weren't in the trenches. So when you can, and that's that. So to me, that actually makes it worse, because for me, that was always like, fucking hell. Think of what our regiment's done in the past, and these lads can't keep up on an 8-mile fucking CFT.
Yeah.
it just undermines the whole thing. It just makes it seem like a sham.
Yeah, it is, and you, like I said, you don't get that with. I'm sure, obviously, you're gonna get, para boys that drop out of CFTs and stuff like that. You're gonna get it, of course you are, but
But it's not acceptable though.
no, it's not. It's not. It's not a case of, well, they've dropped out. It's all right. If I can get in a jack wagon, you do it again next time to get you fitter. Fuck that. They get fucking hounded. Boom, you're shit. You need to get a grip of yourself.
See it on tour as well. Like, I remember once, because one of the things we had to do on Telic 10, as well as doing the ops and stuff, is we had to provide certain number of people for guard, which just seems ridiculous to me. It's like, if you're out there doing ops, you shouldn't be doing the base guards, whatever. But, there was one op where they thought it was going to be a really big fucking smash, and I was down for the guard, and I was like, fuck this, I want to be on that op. I didn't have any trouble finding somebody to swap with me because he didn't want to be on that op. And I'm thinking, why are you in the infantry?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be on this op, because it was the op to close the PJCC, and everyone thought it was going to be a fucking brawl. And I was like, there's no way I'm missing this. Yeah. And then so I was just like, do you want to swap? And it was like, fuck yeah. Straight away. But I knew to go to as well, because he'd never get out the back of the Warrior if he didn't have to. He didn't want to be there. I'm like, why are you in the infantry? And then, to be fair to the paras I spoke to, they felt like, when we were on tour, I felt like we were on the back foot. I don't feel like there was one day really where we were on the front foot of that tour. But the para lads I speak to, they were in the same places and stuff, but they felt like they were on the front foot all the time. And I think, speaking to some of them, don't get me wrong, some of the lads, they still get PTSD and stuff, but I think it makes it a lot. I think when you've done 6 months feeling like you're constantly on the back foot, you're going to come out of that feeling very
defeated.
different. Exactly. Whereas I think they felt like they just went out and fucking smashed Terry.
Yeah. Even though there was no different, right? It was just the way they look at it, their outlook on it, and
Well, it's the way that their officers make operations for them as well. They were putting them out aggressively, whereas I think we were just kind of going out just like, right, well, let's just hope nobody dies on this fucking patrol because we know it's fucking stupid. Yeah. We know we're being restricted to the same routes, and I think they get the way that they don't get me wrong, I've seen them used badly as well. Obviously, the book I did with Major Jowett, telling, where his story is incredible. His story and the story of Easy Company, where they're used badly. So don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they felt like they were on the front foot, even though they were in this terrible defensive position. With us, I just always felt that it was just a case of like, right, just hang on to this area and try not to get too many of you killed.
Yeah, and that's what it was like. It was the same when I was in Iraq and when I was in Afghan as well. I never once did we go out on patrol in Afghan, yeah, where our brief beforehand was, we're going to go down, we're going to look to get contacted, we're going to advance to contact, and when we do get contacted, we're going to fucking hit them with everything we got.
Fight through.
Yeah.
And clear the position.
There was never any, it was all, and that's what we're infantry. We're not there to fucking make friends and stuff. We're out there to fucking clear out Taliban and to hold the area and push them back. But it was always, we're going to go out, we're going to have a chat to the locals, see if they need anything. Yeah. If we do come under contact, then we'll return fire, we'll withdraw, we'll return to camp.
Yeah. That's the thing, like you see where you get contacted from, you see the enemy. It's like, I don't care if this takes the next 24 hours. We got to I don't care. Let's go to that fucking, wherever they're firing from. I don't care if it's 800 meters away.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go take that position now. Like, even if it means it takes all fucking day, let's fucking do it. Yeah. And that's what all the boys wanted. And I think that's one of the reasons that we all, quote unquote, suffer a bit when we come back, is because I feel like, in a way, mate, it's like in one of the things I hear people talk about when they talk about, say, they witnessed domestic violence as a kid, is the fact that they felt so like useless and incapable of doing anything. That's kind of the frustration that I felt of, like, there's people that are shooting at us, the people that have killed our mates, and there they are. We can see them. Let us go and get them.
Yeah.
Like, this is what something like, we wanted to go and get them. And you know what? It's like, if I die in that attempt, fine. so be it. I would rather that than this.
It's like fucking what was it? Was it Chakao? Was it Chakao? Chakao. We knew 100% that fucking area was being occupied by Taliban.
Yeah.
Oh, it's out of bounds. Why is it out of bounds?
Let's make it in bounds. Let's go and get the fuckers.
Let's fucking get an op on. Let's go up there and let's fucking roll through it. Like, let's smash it out.
And I don't even care, mate. It's like I wouldn't have even minded if they go, right, we want fucking 20 volunteers. 20 volunteers, you're going to carry as much ammo as you can. You're going to go in there and we're going to see what happens. Fucking right. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. That's why we're here. Why do you think we joined the infantry?
I know, like, obviously we were struggling with numbers and that out there, but even if we had fucking numbers to go and do, like, probing fucking ops.
I'd have gone in with 4 blokes, mate.
Just to fucking...
Because we weren't in Sangin, mate. There weren't that many of them. I would have gone in with 4 fucking blokes. Fuck it, man.
Just to do what they do to us. Fucking shit.
Exactly. Let's go in there. Let's go in there. Let's set an ambush for them. Let's fucking go. Let's go in fucking heavy. Go in. Fucking smash them and come out. But like I reckon, mate, the morale on their side must have been so high because every time we patrol down there, they fucking contact us
and
then we'd have to fucking we'd be forced to come back. They must have felt, mate, like fucking Alexander the Great.
And that's what we should have been done in with Chakao, with Kabir before we moved down. Let's fucking probe the area. Wait till we get contacted. Fucking smash them, and then come back. Yeah. And just. Like guerrilla tactics, harassing ops. It's just to fucking completely demoralise them and make them come away from a contact with us thinking, fuck, do you know what? I don't want to do that again.
Well, every single one of them that, like, when they fucking contacted us, every single one of them from that contact should have been getting hunted down and killed. Every single one of them. With ice star up above us. Because, like, the thing is, for anybody listening now, this wasn't in dense green zone. This was a small village on the side of a hill. There's not that many people there wasn't that many compounds. There's a few fighting positions of theirs. You could have, realistically, with the use of the A&A as well to distinguish who the locals were, if you'd have then, you could have literally rooted every single one of those fuckers out. Yeah. If you'd have put the effort in. Right, I need to change the subject, mate, because I'm fucking pissed off. Fucking pissed off. Fuck me. I'm just fucking pissed off, man. That fucking winds me up, mate. I feel like, say with sex, right? If, like, for me as a youngster, it was a bit of a, let's call it what I was, a pie man. A bit of a pie man as a kid. But you know what? Could make up for that later in life. What fucking pisses me off about Iraq and Afghanistan is you never get a chance. Like, we all seen the boxing movies where someone gets beaten and they come back for the second round. Like recently, mate, what's his name? Fucking the...
Joshua, is it?
Anthony Joshua and what's his name? Ortiz, is it? Something? He comes back and he gets his fucking revenge. We don't get that. We have to live the rest of our life now. And you know what? I don't feel like a bitch, and I don't feel like you should feel like a bitch because I know we weren't bitches. But at the same time, I do feel like I do feel like we could we had a bunch of fucking warriors, and I don't mean the vehicles. I mean, and this is the same as I bet if you're in the Black Watch or if you're in whatever regiment. There's a bunch of warriors in that regiment who just wanted to fucking get after and kill the enemy. And I feel like we were kept on a lead. I know some guys in some regiments, mostly the paras, who feel like they were able to do that. For us, mate, I felt like we were kept the muzzle on and that we were basically beat. Like the equivalent is we were beaten. Like the IEDs, like that was like beating a dog. We got beaten with IEDs. We got beaten with fucking harassing fire. We got beaten with IDF, and we had never had our muzzle taken off.
No.
And that fucking frustrates me, mate.
The worst thing is like when you've got to live in that fucking area of IEDs, and like wherever you go, there's fucking IEDs, and all you think to yourself, do you know what? When we get into a contact, it'll make up for these IEDs because we can at least fucking give something back to the enemy.
I'll kill them. I want it to kill. Loads of them. I wanted them, mate, to be terrified of us.
Yeah, same as. Yeah.
So Dave, that was on the podcast, was saying that they knew about it. They knew him because he was with the A&A and he had the Cried Cam on or whatever it was. They knew him over ICOM. Yeah. They talk about him, and that's what I wanted them. I wanted them to be like that over ICOM about us. Yeah. they're like, oh, fucking hell, it's fucking, like, they know when Free Platoon were coming out, and that they would be fucking shitting themselves. But it wasn't to be.
No,
And it
had to
fucking winds me up.
had to sit there and let him
Mate.
fucking pull our pants down.
Fuck. Ah, mate.
Never mind. There's always, I don't know.
There's always drugs.
Yeah.
Let's go and get some drugs. What? Oh, mate, but this is what fucking just pisses me off because we're never going to get another shot at it.
Do you reckon the Taliban are out there now looking like, oh, fucking hell, remember when A Company were over here? They were laughing.
To be fair, I reckon most of them are probably dead by now because they, like, you know, we killed a fair few on that tour anyway, and I think they recycle them. I think the chances of you surviving fighting all the way through as a Taliban probably not got a very high rate of success.
I don't know, mate. I remember their Kazivac procedures. Pretty good fucking wheelbarrowing them off.
Fucking hell, we should have been J-damming those wheelbarrows. Oh, mate. You know. Today's podcast is made possible in part thanks to Altberg Boots, specialist bootmakers for over 40 years. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed the VSOM live episode we did with Dean Stott. Dean was an SBS operator and he wore Altbergs on his Special Forces selection. I wore them on 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then I had a pair of Altberg Warriors back in the UK. I was doing a lot of fizz at the time as I was a PTI. I'm gorgeous. And my Altbergs never let me down. Even more to the point, they looked as gorgeous as I did. Can a boot look sexy? Well, fucking right it can. Still have my Warriors. I wear them if I go on the mountains, and I can't recommend them enough. Head over to altberg.co.uk to see the entire range from these specialist bootmakers. If you've got feet, they got boots for you. And even if you haven't got feet, get a pair anyway. Just look at them and salivate. That means dribble or drool, whichever one. You do that with them. Right, so big shout out. Big shout out to Altberg. Go check them out, guys. Nice, sexy boots. Also, a big shout out to our friends at Camouflage. Camouflage spelled with a K. Camouflage is a specialist surveillance and investigations company, a brand you can rely on for their professionalism, integrity, and quality of work at all levels. Is there ever going to be a time that I can read that paragraph without fucking it up and then being made to look terrible for my quality of work at all level? I don't think so. They can look into anything, from the security of your property to unlawful partners. Not only do they get in amongst it, but Camouflage are stockists of specialised surveillance outdoor clothing and equipment from the likes of Lawmate, Yukon, TRC Outdoors, and Lumine Designs. Camouflage also have a service for making bespoke handmade ghillie suits, Ali, and vehicle tracking systems. Ali, maybe pervy too, I'm not judging. Right, please give them a follow at Camouflage Limited and check out their site camouflage.co.uk. Remember, that's spelled with a K. They are veteran owned and operated, as are our friends at Zulu Alpha Strap Company, bombers watch straps for alley blokes. Have you ever gone to check the time and your watch has come off on your wrist? I have, and I look like a right twat. I've had a few Have you ever gone to check the time and found that your watch has come off your wrist? I have, and I look like a right twat. I've had a few watch straps snap on me, actually, and that's how I come to find out about Zulu Alpha Strap Company. Now, I don't worry about my strap snapping because I have a bomber's watch strap from Zulu Alpha Straps. If you've got a timepiece and you want to secure it and look like a stylish rogue at the same time, head over to Zulu Alpha Straps on Instagram. It's one word. Give them a follow or find them and tagged in my pictures. Peruse their pictures. They have some lovely pictures on there. Support this veteran-owned company. I'm literally going to do a breathing exercise. Tell people a funny story, mate, while I fucking have a breathing exercise over here, because my fucking chest feels like I've got a fucking elephant tap dancing on it.
Funny story. What, Afghan related or?
Oh, it's done it for me. I just need to decompress here. I just want to grip our leaders by the throat right now. I don't just jump up and down on them.
I don't even so much blame the leaders because their hands are tied. It's always like, I don't know.
The politicians, who am I blaming? Zeus, Apollo? I'm definitely not. Thor and Odin wouldn't have wanted us to sit around like that, mate.
Yeah.
Fucking, mate.
Hey, let's just start our own fucking war.
Here's the thing, right? Here's something I don't get. How come with Syria and stuff, they haven't just gone, right, any veterans want to go over there, we'll square it away, go and fight with the Peshmerga.
I think they do though, don't they?
I don't reckon the government. Our government, mate. They should have a portal online where you can go in, same as applying for a CP company or whatever, and then you could just be like, yeah, I'm signing my rights away or whatever. Just get me out there. I'll go and fight with the Pesh.
You can fight like what are they called?
I mean, they're all who we've now abandoned. And they're
Yeah,
probably
the
all
Lions
dead,
of Rojava, is
yeah,
it?
they're fucking all dead by now, mate. Probably the fucking Turks that killed them.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
hell,
'cause
that's a load of shit
and
as well.
The reason is because I don't know. We look at Afghan, Iraq, you're like, yeah, let's fucking get in there, do it. But obviously, there's more politics and stuff involved with Syria and stuff like that in there, where they can't just turn around and go, do you know what? Let's fucking get in there and sort it out. So. Yeah, instead of that, because of that, we'll just let them fucking kill each other.
I reckon, mate, it's all a fucking plan. It's all these fucking baby eaters. It's their plan to fucking just keep that region destabilised, mate, so the fucking rich there get richer and the poor get poorer, and then fucking they start eating babies when they're fucking bionic hands.
Fuck, we've gone into a rant.
I need a cuddle, mate. I need a cuddle, honestly. Mate, I'll tell you what, it's just, this is the stuff that breaks me. It's not like, what fucking breaks me, it makes me angry and stuff, isn't what people would think. It isn't like, oh, I lost mates and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it's tragic, but we all went there to do, the reason it breaks me is because it's like there should have been, the deal, in my mind, the deal was, look, lads, you might get fucking killed, but at the same time, you get to go out there and be infantry soldiers. But what we actually got handed was, nah, you don't get to be infantry soldiers, but you still might get killed. And some people did. And that's what fucks me off about it, mate. Because it's like, I feel like, hang on, you never held up your end of the bargain. If you're not letting us be infantry soldiers, why are we here? I never signed up to be a walking sandbag.
Yeah.
You cunts.
Let's just chuck these in front of the warrior just in case there's an IED out there. We don't want to lose that fucking bit of kit, but soldiers fucking replaceable quite easy.
Right, let's change the subject, mate. I'm getting wound up here.
How the fuck do we get onto this subject? We started off, right, we've gone from talking about, what was it, zombie apocalypse 3 times to, I don't even know.
What's, alright, I'm attempting to steer this back on. I'm attempting to steer this away from a heart attack. Alright? What are your favourite zombie... Right, favourite zombie shows. Favourite zombie shows, and like, right, let's put 5 in down and then we'll order. We got Walking Dead, right? Walking Dead, a.k.a. us on tour.
Is this films included as well?
We're going to have films too.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw 28 Days Later into the mix.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Go on, any others?
There's a new one coming out now with it. What's it called?
Who's that?
Not 28 Days Later.
29 Days Later.
No.
33 minutes later.
I can't remember what it's called. I'm shit at remembering zombie films. There's so many fucking zombie films and stuff out there, but...
Well, I'll tell you what. World War Z, but not the movie, the book.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the film too. It's good.
Yeah, but the book, mate, the book is genius. Yeah. So the way that they did the book, you know, like those Forgotten Voices books, where you get like, you know, like it's like they've interviewed the survivor of the trenches. Well, that's how he wrote the book.
Yeah.
So it's like you're reading all these. So it doesn't have like a central character. There's no Brad Pitt in the book, but it's just like it starts with like there's a chapter about the outbreak. So it's got like witness testimonial from the outbreak. Then it's got witness testimonial from all these other things. But what's cool about World War Z, the book, is that the humans win in the end. They clean, you know, because they do overcome it because they get the shit together. Because that's something that always fucking pisses me off about like monster movies and stuff. Because I fucking love a good monster movie. One thing I want to know: why are they flying the F-22 Raptors within 30 feet of Godzilla? Like the whole idea of these things is that you never even see them, and then something blows up. But all of a sudden, when there's a monster turns up, they're like flying it around its face. And it does my fucking head in. And the other thing as well, I don't care how big a monster you are, right? You get hit by a J-dam.
Yeah, you're going down.
That's like getting. It's like the equivalent of you and me getting shot. So monster movies, right? Listen up, all you top Hollywood executive producers that listen to Veteran State of Mind. I know I've got fucking Spielberg and everyone tuned in right now. If you want to make a monster movie, set it in Viking times or something, and then you haven't got the problem then. Because I love big monsters, mate, and stuff. I fucking love them. up until the point where they start fighting with, like, I like it when they're fighting other monsters, or like, I tell you which one I like. I like that King Kong Return to Skull Island.
Yeah.
Because 2 reasons. It's got Huey helicopters in it, which are my favourite helicopters of all time.
Yeah.
So sexy. But again, King Kong turns up, all right. He takes the first one out by throwing a log at it. Understandable. I could see how that happens. You probably haven't got an SOP for flying logs. So I can see how that would happen. But then the rest of them, instead of just like hovering 200 meters away and shooting at him, they're all flying around and getting swatted out the air. He takes out a whole fleet of helicopters by just jumping up. I'm like, you're in a helicopter. You have literally infinite space to move around. You get taken out. And that fucking pisses me off. I'm going to trash this studio.
I know, yeah. They could just fly out of reach of it, just above him, and just fucking...
But again, somehow, bullets don't hurt him. If I get bitten by an ant, that ruins my day.
Can you imagine that film, though, if it did, like, if it was realistic, though? Like, oh, let's sit there with a J-Dam, 3 minutes, film's over.
But you know how you get around that, mate? Just have a bunch of King Kongs. Yeah. Right, let's talk about some fucking aliens for a bit. Actually, we'll save aliens for the next. We're going to do a separate episode.
Aliens.
Did you see that movie Midway?
No, I didn't think so.
No, it came out. I didn't go watch it because so it's about like the Battle of Midway, which is like one of the turning points in the Pacific. It was one of those battles where Japs, I shouldn't say Japs, sounds racist, doesn't it? Japanese and the Americans, and it was the 2 fleets never actually saw each other. It was a carrier. It was like basically a carrier battle with the fight, with the dive bombers and torpedo bombers and stuff. But apparently it was like a kind of cat and mouse thing of whoever launched first, because if you launched your planes and you didn't then have the range to reach them, you'd then end up back on your ships when the others turned up. And the Americans, they took the gamble of launching and they reached them. And I think, if I'm not wrong here, that they reached them at one point where the Japs were all back on there getting refueled and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was like that, then massively swung the advantage. And then that, like, they sunk a bunch of carriers, can't remember how many, and that changed the course of the war in the Pacific.
Yeah.
I didn't go and see it because the CGI just didn't look like... Like when I watched the latest Godzilla, I was like, if I didn't know any better, if I was in 1910 and you brought me in the cinema, I'd be like, fucking hell, what's that? Where are these things? That's pretty cool. But like, I knew when I saw the advert for Midway that I was looking at CGI planes. Yeah. And I thought, can't buy into it. Like, Dunkirk, I'm not a fan of the movie Dunkirk, but the Spitfire scenes in there, oh my goodness, erection. Like, it was incredible. And if Midway had been more like that, then I definitely would have gone to see it. But it just looked too CGI-y.
Have you seen Fury?
No, because I don't want to see one tank crew winning a war.
Oh, mate, it is a fucking good film. We're talking about CGI and stuff like that. The firefights and stuff in it are fucking amazing. Like, we'll have to watch that.
No, I'm not watching it, mate.
You're gonna have to watch it.
No, because then it's just going to make me mad.
We're
not there.
Honest to God, you've got to see it. Like with the CGI when they're rolling up the trenches and stuff like that, and the round. Oh, mate, this just made me. Fucking gives me a hard on.
If you could have been in a Second World War, would you have been in it?
Fucking yeah, I'd love to have been.
Yeah, me too. It's mad, isn't it? We are definitely not right in there.
Everything that what made me want to join the army, it was from World War II, watching World War II stuff, and speaking to my great granddad about World War II, you look at I think most people look at shit like that and they think, fuck me, I'd hate to have been there. I looked and I was like, that looks amazing.
Fucking mad, isn't it? Because it's even after like watching Saving Private Ryan and stuff and knowing all that carnage, I know exactly what it would be like. I could tell you right now, the blokes that I serve with, it was being like, right, we need 50 people for the first boat. Yeah, hands up. Do you know what I mean? But it's just I don't know. It's like, it's daft, but you have to have it. It is just like a drug. It's like when you take a drug, like when you're taking a drug, like, because I'm not against all drugs for, I think some, drugs have the purpose, like, but like when you're taking a drug to cause or to stop pain in your life, or like same with alcohol, you're drinking to drink away pain or whatever. What you're doing is destructive, but you do it anyway. And that's kind of how I think about war. Like, I know wanting to be in a battle in the Second World War is stupid, but I still want to do it.
Yeah, it's like that. It is a drug, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
but you know it's a stupid thing to want, but you can't help want it.
You know it's going to kill you at one point, but
Yeah.
you was like that when you were out on patrol and that you hear that first little
Yeah.
and you can feel your heartbeat starting to go bum 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 bum, and then you hear and then that's it. Then you're on your fucking belt buckle, and your heart is going vum 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 vum. And whenever I look back at it now, and obviously apart from the point where I got shot, that was where I did sort of shit my pants. But I would always think to myself, "Fucking hell, this is insane! Like this is mental." And when you come away from it afterwards, then is that. I don't know, that feeling, that brotherhood thing where you're like, that was fucking nuts. Did you see this? Did you see that? And you're like... Yeah.
Well, it's like just like when you played rugby. At the end of the day, after a game rugby, you're all like, fucking hell, see that hit he put on him? Or like, what the fuck were you doing on that? You know, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like that, but intensified. And like, I don't know many people who haven't enjoyed being in small arms engagements.
I don't agree. I disagree with the thing where people say they weren't fucking. I was never scared in them, because that. I've been in firefights, where I've been fucking loving it, but at the same time, I'm still aware of the fact that there's fucking hundreds of fucking bullets whizzing past us, and it only takes one of them.
But being aware is different to being scared, because being scared, like, so the reason I say that I don't feel like I was scared in small arms engagements was because I compared it to how I felt searching for IEDs.
Yeah.
Now, searching for IEDs, I was scared. Like, my balls were inside my fucking chest. Isn't it mad how your balls retract when you're scared as well? Like, because that's going to protect them.
Yeah.
But like, I was scared. Looking for IEDs, I was scared.
I was more the opposite with the IEDs, or see. I was like, I think maybe because I was the fucking barber instructor and stuff.
Well, you
like
actually
that,
knew what you were fucking doing.
Yeah, I actually knew a little bit more. So, like, when I was on my belt buckle and you're sweeping away and stuff like that.
No, see, that bit didn't bother me, mate.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. It was because my thing was always like, the enemy are smart. One day I'm going to walk into a Claymore device. Because we used to go through the same places all the time. So mine was, one day, it doesn't matter how good I am on my drills, they're going to put, they know we're coming here all the time, they're going to put a Claymore device on a command wire, and there's going to be nothing I can do about it, and I'm going to get shredded by a Claymore. That is what scared me. Going into those same vulnerable points all the time, just thinking like, if Terry's on his game, I'm fucked. There's nothing I can do about it. And it was like, that's what scared me. It wasn't the pressure pad so much, because I thought, if I stand on one, I'm not really going to know about it. I mean, I wouldn't have known about Claymore, but it was the idea of, I can't even find this and do it. It's going to be 5 meters in front of me. There's going to be 5 meters in front of me. I'm going to get channeled into the places we always have to get channeled into, and he's going to go, oh Akbar, and then go boom, and I'm going to go.
I was fine though. I was fine up until the point when I got blown up, and then. So when you get blown up, then that's when you think to yourself, do you know what? I fucking know what these things actually do now. And then after that, where I was sort of like,
Yeah, I mean, that was the kind of thing as well, isn't it? I got blown up our third day on the ground. So like, so it was another 6 months then. But like you said, like I fucking got blown up with them, was steel in between me and it. And it was, so I think that's why the ID shut me up. But small arms contacts, man, I fucking loved them. I loved them. I genuinely loved them.
I did until I got shot. And I suppose the same thing here is when you get shot, then you know what it fucking does. So. Yeah,
I always wanted to get shot in like a fucking, like, in the movies, you get like someone, you get the graze on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I always fancied one of them, like the old flesh wound where you get, and then you just like, because I always wanted to, like, I've always said to myself, like, if I ever get shot, just remember to say, ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
I thought
it's just a flesh wound.
Could you imagine me if someone was like, oh, you've been shot. Like, I ain't got time to bleed. And then at that point you look down and see blood spurting everywhere and you start crying.
But yeah, reality is no, you end up with a fucking hole in you.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And somebody's finger in it.
Yeah, Jesus. Oh, but then you get a bunch of ketamine on you on the other hand.
Yeah, true.
So you ketheads out there, join the army, get shot, free ketamine.
Yeah.
That's what they don't tell you in the fucking recruitment.
So
in
yeah,
the recruitment adverts.
I weren't bothered up until then, and after that I was a lot more sort of apprehensive when we got contacted after that, because I suppose you know what it does then, and I suppose it was a similar thing in World War II. Like the guys storming the beaches, they didn't really know
They sent fresh troops,
because they didn't know sort of what they were up against, and then after that first wave and they'd taken the beaches, there was fresh troops again and to move forward, because the guys who obviously were on the beaches in the first.
They would have been fucking.
They knew what they were, what the fuck.
Well, not just that, mate, but they're fucking. At that point, their command and control would have been decimated. Yeah. They would have had to have been totally reordered. So that scene on Saving Private Ryan, when I watched that as a kid, it shocked me. If I watch it now, I feel sick.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we've never been in anything like that. I'm not saying we have, but we have been opened up on. Yeah. We have been on the end of fucking fire. And, you know, we have seen casualties and stuff. And when I watch that now, I don't feel like I'm watching actors. Now, when I watch that now, I feel like I'm watching the real life fucking guys going in. And that fucking, it feels like my stomach feels hollowed out.
Can you imagine the fucking front of that landing craft dropping down and you all looking up and going and seeing that in front of you?
But I think you'd be so scared that you just have such tunnel vision. That,
you would, yeah.
Because the thing is, mate, like what you'd have actually taken in during it, and that's why I think they did such a great job filming that, is because you don't have this big fucking vision of everything's going on. You'd have been seeing your helmet's probably down in front of your eyes, because let's be honest, when does your helmet ever stay in fucking place? Your helmet, and especially their helmets, mate, your helmet's in front of your eyes, you're fucking sweating, there's tears, you got sand and grit in there, and it's just noise is overwhelming you, and the noise would have, and I tell you what, mate, I don't know if you've ever been on a small boat, on a choppy sit,
yeah.
Just that alone is a disorientating experience. Like, so if anyone has never been on a small boat on waves and stuff, you just feel like you lose your sense of balance and everything. Like, you feel like you're in a washing machine. Just that alone would have been I mean, mate, fuck me. Like, to think that was when I went to that Festival of Remembrance, mate, and they brought the old boys out, and some of them, you know, they're D-Day veterans and that there. It's mad, because you look at him now, you see an old man. But it wasn't an old man. He was an 18-year-old lad.
Yeah.
And that's what's so hard to get. And that'll be a thing with us one day. People will look at us, you know. And it's why I think doing podcasts and stuff at this age is so important. Is so that, like, the problem we've got with, like, the World War I and the World War II survivors' accounts is that almost all of it was done when they were old men. Even if I'm talking old men as, say, in their 60s onwards, right? You find me footage where they're interviewing a 20-year-old guy after World War II. Doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. It might, like, there might be books here and there, but really it doesn't exist. So I think it's so important that we do stuff like this now, so that in 80 years' time, 100 years' time, if anyone wants to study Afghan and stuff, they're seeing young men, and we still are young-ish, but yeah, they're seeing young people talk about it, because then they can relate to it. Because it's so hard to go, when you see a World War II veteran who's 90 talking about it, it's really hard to imagine him as an 18-year-old, because he would have been a boy. Yeah. He wasn't a 90-year-old man on the beach. But it's like, it almost doesn't seem real because of that age thing. It's a very hard thing to get around. And I just wish that, like, these guys had been interviewed and stuff when they were younger, because it would have been like because, like, they're the same man, but, like, to have seen the person who was, like, you know, you and I look pretty much now, we're a bit chubbier, but we look what we look like in Afghan. You know, it would have been, like, I would have loved to see, like, interviews with guys when they looked the same as they did. You know, they still, like, I love the interviews of them anyway, don't get me wrong, but just something about it it removes some of that disconnect.
I'd like to see through various stages of our life as well, because like even now, what was it when we come back from Afghan? What was it, like 10 years ago? 10
years ago,
nearly 10 years
well,
ago.
It's just under 10 years.
Yeah, through those stages, those 10 years. Like when we first come back from Afghan, it was like yeah, that was fucking good experience.
yeah,
I'm glad to be home now.
But also, it was just part of the. We were going away on tour. What was that? Our third tour in 4 years or something, or less. So it was just part of the job then, wasn't it? Go away, come back, do a tour, go away, come back.
And you come back initially, and you think to yourself, "I'm glad that's over." But then a couple of years later, you're like, "Fuck, I really want to go back out there." Because I go through various stages. I do. Where I look back and I think, "Fucking hell, that was horrendous. I hated it. I'm glad I'm home now." And then I go through stages. I'm like, "Fuck, I need to go back out there because I've got so much unfinished business out there." And then I look at contacts and all the other bits and bobs, and some of the lads that we lost and stuff, and I think, "Fuck me, I never want to go through that again." It's I don't know. I think your perspective on it changes as it's definitely as you get a little bit older.
Yeah, I think it's always something that I want to go back to, but then I can look at it and go, yeah, it's a good thing you're not. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it's understanding that you want to do it. It's like anything, mate. It's like there's a lot of decisions in life that you'd like to make, but then you realise this isn't a good decision to make. But you can. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I think this is again maybe where some people struggle with this. Is they're like, I want to go back. I have to go back. But it's like, well, look, mate. It's what. I'd love to go back to those when I was like in sixth form. Those are two of the best years of my life. I had a fucking amazing time in sixth form, and it doesn't mean should I go back to sixth form now?
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean? That was a part of your life. You got to move on. I wouldn't mind being back in sixth form though.
I had some really good times out there as well. But then I look at it as well at like. For example, after I got blown up and then RPG'd, I had convinced myself, and I'd even accepted the fact that I was going to die out there. I was never coming home from there, and I think that was how my mindset was. And I think to myself, and sometimes I'm like, when I have those days where I'm like, fuck, I need to be back out there now. I think to myself, why would I want to go back into that?
Yeah.
Situation where I had told myself that this is me. I'm never coming home from here. I know I'm going to die here. I'm just waiting now for when it's going to happen.
Probably didn't help that we called you Pinkmist.
Pinkmist, yeah.
But the thing about that as well, though, mate, is I think it's a part of human nature that the grass is always greener. Like the amount of mates, like I want to get a visa and move to the States. The amount of mates of mine who live in the States and want to move to the UK.
Yeah.
That's just part of I got to be honest, I don't know anyone who wants to move to Swansea. but the amount of people that want to do, you're self-employed, that must be brilliant. And then I'm kind of thinking, well, yeah, but it must be nice being salaried and not worried about where your next fucking check's coming from. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's always that stuff. And I think because it's war, we put it in its special category where not really it shouldn't be. We should just look at it as everything else and just be like, mate, looking back at playing rugby as a kid, again, love those times. Do I go and play rugby now? No, because it's a different point in my life. And to be honest, mate, you've heard the clicks and pops and everything that comes out of my body. And fucking last night, he made me laugh. And I got cramp in my abs, which is never something I've had before. And it was one of the most.
It's still hurting.
It's one of the most painful experiences I've ever had because I bent over laughing, and then my abs cramped up because we'd been at the gym, and it was like I went from laughing to wanting to start crying. Fucking hell, that was painful. That was, mate. Anyway, it's a good place to wrap up on this episode, mate. We're gonna come back.
Yeah, this is probably been the most random fucking episode we've.
I done a lot of random ones, mate. I don't know if people can tell, but I don't plan them out too much. I've got my piece of paper here just to show the camera that I do actually have a piece of paper. Oh wait, this is just a picture. This is just a picture of a veiny penis.
We didn't even get past that.
We did the first item on the agenda, and then we've got another 11 that we haven't gone on to. But you know what? I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
Giving the people what they want. The people want to know about. Right, let's recap the episode. Zombie apocalypse, right? If you get in the zombie apocalypse, don't expect any help from the government. They ain't going to do anything for you. Don't trust your neighbours. Protect your pets. And eat babies if necessary. Also, don't go to war because you'll just get fucking frustrated. So you might as well stay at home and play Call of Duty and be frustrated where you don't die. That would be my one there. if any of you have got blue balls, if anyway, I'm sure any gentleman listening, you've had blue balls. I don't know what the equivalent is for women. Is there such a thing as blue clit? But there is now. Trademarked, veteran state of mind, blue clit. If you got blue balls or blue clit, basically when you want to fuck someone, you can't. That is basically like what I feel our experience was like at war. Yeah. But unfortunately, there's no brothel or anything that we can go to. Or maybe there is. There might be some kind of dark web thing where we could go and fucking shoot people. Right, let's stop it at this point before we get this episode fucking Paul. We will be back doing another episode together. Cheers for coming on, buddy.
Dude.
Guys, veteran state of mind. VSOMpodcast.com. Head over there, sign up for the newsletter so I can slide into your inbox. VSOMstore.com if you want to buy some Ali merch. Please support our sponsors. And, yeah. See ya.
Yeah. Listen. Shout out Teaser. You told me not to worry, and you wouldn't break my heart. You told me you were sorry, yeah, my whole world fell apart. You said it's not my fault, and yeah, I've never done you wrong. I'm grinding to a halt, now I can see you're moving on. I promised I'd get better, and I told you things would change. You keep me to the gutter, yeah, I'll never be the same. I've gotta let you go, now live your life and spread your wings. And yeah, you put on quite a show, and pulled the puppet strings. And are you sure that you don't want me? Remember all the pain, or maybe you should thank me. It's your loss and my gain. I'm leaving now forever, I won't hang my head in shame. But yeah, you've taken me for granted, and you should feel ashamed. You sold a dream to all of us, a dream that we'd all die for, a reason for us all to live and something we could fight for. I might just help a man up to his feet or hold a newborn, but no matter what I do, my hands remembering my rifle, yeah.
Life's hard, I know that, still wouldn't change shit. I wouldn't go back, yeah, I wouldn't go back. Feelings I hold back, memories fade, yeah, they go fast, yeah, they go fast. Good times to come and go, survive the highs and lows, just take it step by step, I guess, yeah, I suppose. Good times to come and go, survive the highs and lows, just take it step by step, I guess, yeah.